Well, we survived the Nebraska State Fair, so now it's time to load up and prepare for Husker Harvest Days.
We have a preview of that 3-day event, plus it's National Chicken Month, so we have some fun facts to ruffle your feathers.
The bad jokes have already begun. Welcome to this week's edition of Friday 5, which is presented to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Now, before we get to those stories, Big Beer is still duking it out over corn syrup.
On Wednesday, a federal judge ordered Anheuser-Busch to stop using Bud Light's packaging that says no corn syrup in bold letters. They say it implies that the rival brews made by MillerCoors contain corn syrup.
So MillerCoors does use corn syrup in the fermentation process, but the final product does not contain corn syrup.
The district judge said that Anheuser-Busch can use the packaging it has until they run out or until March of 2020, whichever one comes first. Remember that back in May, Anheuser-Busch was ordered to stop making those claims in television, billboard, and print advertising.
Moving on, the 42nd Annual Husker Harvest Days is upon us, and that 3-day show will begin next Tuesday near Grand Island.
Over 100,000 visitors each year have the opportunity to visit more than 600 exhibitors. For 31 years now, the showgoers have had the opportunity to see live cattle handling demonstrations.
And walking around the 80-acre exhibit is sure to build up an appetite. Unfortunately, you never have to look far to find food and drink options. All the vendors at the show support Nebraska youth.
One of my favorite parts. Moving on to number 3. September is National Chicken Month.
A single hen can produce between 250 and 300 eggs a year, and she'll turn her eggs about 50 times every single day to keep it from sticking to the side of the shelf.
The United States alone consumes 8 billion chickens each year. Chicken is full of health benefits. If you eat it without the skin, chicken is very lean. It's carb-free, rich in vitamin B3 as well as B6. Phosphorus as well as selenium.
And egg yolks, you'll be interested to know, are one of the few foods that naturally contains vitamin D.
Number 2 on the countdown. On Thursday, Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts began a trade mission to Vietnam and Japan to promote Nebraska ag products and to pitch Nebraska as one of the top destinations for international investment.
So delegates on this mission include representatives from the Nebraska Department of Ag, Department of Economic Development, the University of Nebraska, the Farm Bureau, ag businesses, and more.
And number 1 this week, a new analysis by the Nebraska Farm Bureau estimates that the ongoing tariffs imposed on the United States ag exports will cost Nebraska producers nearly $1 billion in lost revenue in 2019.
The projected losses would be in addition to tariff-related losses in farm-level income, estimated between about $700 million to $1 billion in 2018.
Senior economist Jay Rempe says the analysis shows that Nebraska soybean producers as a group are projected to lose out on nearly $600 million from retaliatory tariffs, and corn producers are estimated to lose roughly $251 million.
That concludes this week's edition of Friday 5, which is presented by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you at Husker Harvest Days, and of course, go Big Red.
This is Mike. Mike likes his car. Mike likes to save money. And Mike likes to breathe. So Mike fills up with E15 with 15% American ethanol. The clean octane in E15 gives Mike the performance he wants from his engine and the clean air he wants for his family. Better yet, E15 costs less at the pump. Higher octane, cleaner air, lower cost. E15 sure gives Mike a lot to like. Discover E15 with American ethanol.